o tēnā koe, Rawiri Waititi, co-leader of Te Pāti Māori. So, te tuatahi, your reaction to today's budget?
Unsurprising, but it's very similar to the last two budgets they announced. And what's even more surprising is that Māori only received 0.24% of this budget. And we make up 20% of the country's population. We are the treaty partner. And you can see how this government has no dedication to closing the disparities, closing the gaps that often Māori are overrepresented in every statistic across every measure of Parliament and government's decision making. And you can see 0.24% of the budget. Non-Māori received 36 billion. And we've seen the biggest decrease of investment into Māori for the last 15 years when this government was last in charge. And so there's no aroha here. This is a government that continues to benefit the 3% who control 50% of the country's wealth.
Yeah, I did ask the Minister of Finance in the lock-up, how does this budget serve Māori? And she was unequivocally very clear that it does serve Māori, and that if you're serving all and meeting those needs of employment and cost of living pressures, that Māori will benefit from those as well. Your reaction to that?
Oh, look, if the disparity between the haves and the have-nots and the gap between them has grown since this government took office, and you start to put assimilative policies together with a one-size-fits-all type mentality, that does not fix the disparity. What that does is you're investing in the disparity. Yes, it might move the disparity like this, but the disparity is the disparity. And unless we start looking at more equitable policies and equitable outcomes and start to spread the responsibility across those who are continuously creaming the top of the milk can. And those are the rich in this country. Until we start taxing them to start contributing to the infrastructure of this country, better housing, better schools, better hospitals, better roads, and start decreasing many of the statistics that you mentioned to the Minister, incarceration rates, our statistics when it comes to education. We make up 50% of the social housing waiting list. If there's 100,000 people who are living in poverty, we make up 60% of those. So 60,000 of the people who are living in poverty are Māori. And so those are some of the statistics. Their policies go nowhere near addressing those particular issues because they do believe that one size fits all. And it's not going to work. Assimilation has never worked.
Often we have a sweetener for Māori in the budget. Last year it was, I think, a Māori Wardens, a bit of a top-up for Kohanga Reo. The year before it was Te Matatini. This year it's Māori Broadcasting, you're a little bit biased. 48 million for Māori Broadcasting and $10 million for Te Māori Tua Global Initiative. Your response to that, and I've seen some people commending Tama Potaka for getting over that line, getting that over the line.
He will get no commendation from me because that's just repurposed money. That's not new money. And so he's taken from somewhere else in that Māori budget and put it over there. Okay, yes, there needs to be investment in those particular areas, especially Māori broadcasting. But what he's done is he's robbed Peter to pay Paul. And so this is not new funding. Tama Potaka and Nicola Willis, this is to me, like I said, the name of this budget is if there is a Willis, there is no way. This is a Williside when it comes to Māori. 0.24% is a Williside. And Tama Potaka needs to come clean with his people. How can you go and face your maunga, your awa, your people, your mokopuna, and tell them that you have delivered the best you can to your people to start closing those disparities, start lifting us out from underneath the bonnet of colonial violence? He cannot do that with hand on heart. What he's done is he's moved money around. In actual fact, we've lost $134 million in Māori development. So if you can explain that, and if he can continue to tap his own shoulders or give himself a hongi in the mirror or, and all those types, or shake his own hand, then, he's got something, there's something wrong with him and he needs to be checked out. But that's my analysis on that particular issue. We have lost $134 million from the Māori development funding. This is probably the lowest investment into Māori in the last 15 years.
And just lastly, I guess for Te Pāti Māori, you've had the budget as long as we've had it, but in terms of policy going forward, what are some of the things that you could put on the table for voters this year? I
think the biggest thing is that those people listening out there, I want you to go out and I want you to go onto our website and check out the tax calculator, because I think the tax system here is absolutely broken. You've got the top you've got the top 10% paying 9% tax, while the rest of Aotearoa carries them. And what they're doing is we're actually funding their lifestyles. This is not about the haves and the have-nots. This is about the have-nots and the have-yachts. And they continuously put policies in place to protect the top end of town. And so go over, have a look at our tax calculator. I think our biggest policy in regards to ensuring that we can pay for the rest of our policy manifesto is changing the tax system in this country. And we will implement it. Our wealth tax, I think that's the biggest thing for our people. Get over to that calculator and check out the numbers.
And just lastly, 3 words to describe this budget.
Where there's a Willis, there's no way.
There's too many words.
Okay, Mars White.
Ka whai o tēnā koe Rawiri Waititi, the Māori